we're jumping right into the action. Kazna crew not actually going north, Mojo. It's eSuba, red side defending. It's Kazna crew on the blue side attacking. And, well, Daki will be happy to hear that Mojo was not so excited seeing that Vetso wasn't in the lineup here.
Yeah, thank you, Vetso, for that one. After the last game, this is complete anticlimax. But what can you do? A high pressure from Kazna mediums here on the bottom cap. You can see Nexus is going super aggressive to fan out whoever is spotting the bushes. Haiba is keeping the middle with his mouse, and the rest of the mouse as well. They're approaching slow. This is something that eSuba should already try to use. I don't know why are they not.
Overus getting a first shot into Nexus, but he just basically signed his death warrant. Dare's actually taking a huge amount of damage there on Kazna crew. How long's Overus going to survive? Well, not much longer is the answer. One more shot and he goes down. It's Nexus picking up the first kill there, and it's first blood to Kazna crew.
This is really good because look at this. Nexus is actually already running away. He's not waiting for eSuba tanks to pressure him while he's out of the shells. This is the smartest play that Kazna could do, and I'm really surprised that eSuba didn't do anything to counterattack them immediately. They actually pushed the city, which is, in my eyes, kind of futile.
Haiba caught in a crossfire here. He's going to get shot in the back from Frawley. He's going to get shot in the front from the rest of the eSuba tanks. Now Andrew's coming round as well to help out Frawley. And how much damage can Haiba sustain at this area, Mojo? Looks like he's isolated, and this is going to hurt.
Yeah, it will. I mean, in this moment, while they're trenched up, eSuba up, if they're not losing any tanks on a 9 and 0 line, they will win this game in this pace because they will get in position where they can just do constant damage in the flank of Kazna. That's why the Kazna Bachats are rotating and getting behind Frawley and Andrew, because this is the only play they have, and they do have the two mouses counterattacking from other side also.
Nexus and Stefan coming in here onto the back of Frawley. They're going to be able to clip him out. Mojo's maybe a good time to listen into the Kazna team speak. Let's
50B has shots again, what the fuck?
Yeah, he reloaded, mate. He
Yeah.
took you way too long.
Nice.
Kill the city, kill the city.
I'm gonna join city.
They're loading probably. Mouse fired. 1-3 fired.
I will try to
He's
hold them.
blocking.
Deploy, I'm behind in a second.
Okay. Mouses are farming me. I don't have gun fucking depression.
I can only shoot the mouse.
B -1.
We should have pushed the village and not let me die and just push the village.
Can you
Two
block
tanks
this
out of
front?
the fight.
But before we talked about pushing here, and you also have need to give us more info when the B is reloaded. Like,
I told you he fired 3, then
you
4.
said he fired 3, yeah, and that's when
Yeah,
we were
and
somewhere
then
here.
yes, and then he gave a 4 and did a reload.
Then you can still tell us not to go when you know that he will be reloaded.
It's okay, go def now, forget this round.
20 seconds, Piotr.
We were fine here, for example. We could have held positions and just let it die.
Yeah, and we should have.
Well, but then you need to say that.
Yeah.
Say, I need help of 2 bitches. It's okay, exactly that happened what we talked about.
And it almost kind of went Kazna's way there for a couple of moments there, Mojo, but it kind of fell to pieces when Haiba got caught out on his own there.
It was a good thing how they moved out, removed the T-54 light from the map, but they had no pressure whatsoever that could do any kind of relief for Haiba. And eSuba actually, I think they pressed the only weak spot in this attack that Kazna had, a solo mouse on that side. If they had 3 mouse tanks, together from the lower side, I don't think eSuba would have any pressure, any real pressure on Kazna.
Yeah, I mean, losing that mouse was quite dangerous. I mean, Disney's been continuing to do lots of damage here in the artillery, so certainly he's done his worth here that he can. I mean, if he can get a shot here into looking, it'll be an absolute beast of a shot, actually, because he just took a little bit more damage there. Disney, shot coming in. Decent looking's down out to one shot, but we still have Tomasek, Mojo, with all that health right now, and it's only Disney and Dares left to do what they can for Kazna. Looking very much like eSuba are going to take round 1 here on Runeberg. And well, that's not bad for a team that's barely played it all season.
Well, not barely, never.
Yeah.
Frawley and Lukin are here pinstering theirs, so he will have to choose where to turn his gun, and the other guy will take him out. Isne, as an RT player, is left alone here. There's nothing you can do against this one.
Cheeky from combat through the window, and there we go. eSuba taking round 1, and well, I don't think that's going to set the precedent for the rest of the night, to be honest. I think Kazna will bounce back. Runeberg tends to be a 1-1 map.
Well, I honestly expected that actually Kazna can take the 2-0 here because they're far more experienced on the map, but this was a blunder, a tactical blunder they did, and they had a way out, but as you obviously heard from them arguing, there was a late rotation and really undecisive one, even where will they do it?
Yeah, but a bit of a mixed comms as well, not asking for help perhaps when they should have, and yeah. I mean, it was good. eSuba, like you said, it was the only kind of thing they could do at the time, and they closed in really well. They made the shots in high count, and you saw how quickly his damage went down.
Well, eSuba is a team who can surprise people. We already established that. So maybe Go Hard will be very happy after this match. You never know, man. This season is like that.
Yeah,
there is always a possibility.
Hell, if Kazna crew don't win this, Mojo, it's going to be so crazy.
It's going to be cool. It's going to be cool because, again, till the last day, we will not know what's going to go.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's have a look at the damage done in that round, see who came out on top. Pretty sure it's going to be eSuba players at the top. It is Frawley, in fact, coming in 4.8 there from 15 shots and 2 kills in the 1-1-3, so very nicely done. Then Coming Piotr for Kazna crew second, 3.4. He was with the last surviving mouse before he went down.
That's a guy who I don't have any team, and he's doing the best.
Then looking at Andrew from eSuba as well, mouse Amex 50B. So 50B doing what you want him to do. Yizne Mojo actually coming in 5th place in that artillery.
That's the guy who Ducky has and I don't have.
I have him in my team as well.
Christies.
So that's good. I'm sure we'll see Vetso next time round, Mojo. I'm sure everything will change.
I'm sure you're sure. While you're laughing here.
Well,
Smart.
what's happening to your
Very
crystal
smart,
balls,
man.
Mojo? What's happening to your crystal balls?
I know, man.
Daki said yesterday he stole them.
Vetso just told me out. That's it.
Blame Vetso. Hashtag blame Vetso.
Well, it wasn't best game for Kazna. We already concluded that, and it was quite obvious there. We will see how will they do on defense. Breaking defense on Ruinberg is not the easiest thing on the world. We've seen a lot of cheese attempts lately. Again, even the cap attempts, which was quite easily handled with new derp guns on Type 4 and Type 5 heavies. We even made a video when Ducky and we were platooning and Ducky actually shot to some guy and accidentally splashed the guy next to him.
Team kill him.
So yeah, quite a splash on those ones. I'm really interested to see will Kazna actually try to use some of them in defense here.
Well, let's have a look at the lineups and see exactly what's going to be brought here, Mojo. Heavy lineups again, I'm sure, because it is Ruinberg against the city map.
There we go, Type 5 heavy with new derp gun. 75 pen, not much, but 1400 possible damage. Up and down a bit. So if you hit a budget and look at the amount of those squishy tanks on eSuba side, this Type 5 heavy is an absolute, how would you call it even? Disintegrator?
Absolute annihilator. It's like the Japanese Death Star, basically.
Gujira.
What worries me here is that eSuba with that Amex 5100 is effectively saying, hey, we're going to do cap tactics, which Kazna know themselves, so Kazna would know how to play against it.
Well, theoretically, they are saying, yes, we are going to do a cap tactic, but actually they're not signaling where. They might use it as a bait. They can go on the other cap block there, also have I7s and butchats there in place. There is possibilities that they can use here, but also Kazna does have enough fast tanks. They do not have to take the first bait.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how they do it, Mojo. eSuba currently leading Kazna crew 1-0. Now, they're going to be attacking from the red side. Kazna crew are going to be on the blue side defending. I think this is going to be quite a tough one for eSuba, to be honest. I mean, if they do go for that cap tactic, as I said, Kazna have done it successfully before. They know how to... They should know how to counter it. If it's a bait, I mean, the 5100 can do a fair bit of damage. It just shoots really slowly, and it reloads really slowly. So somebody could have a monster game, or, well, as a duke, as, well, most of eSuba are going to the right, Mojo, and they're not going north.
As I told you, like, they can just pick it up as fraud or diversion and just play something else. 5100 doesn't even have to be sacrificed. It can be left behind to cover their backs against the possible rotation. I mean, it doesn't matter how it has like 3 seconds between the shells and things like that. It will still have potential to do a couple of shells to the enemy. Also, you cannot really say that Kazna have some super rotational tanks here. Yes, 50Bs, maybe even you can say 113s, but that's not many.
Frawley rushing down into that corner, perhaps rushing down to his death as Nexus already gets a shot into him. Ders is waiting to shoot him, Stefan's waiting to shoot him, and you also have Yizny already down there in the T54 lightweight. Now Andrew is with Frawley, and they're dangerously exposed to you, Mojo. It's not necessarily a great place to sit in.
This is exactly what I told you. Like, eSuba will probably try to play something different, and Kazna does not have to take the first bait, as they didn't. And the position of Stefan here is really crucial now, because he is in cooldown and he is covered by his teammate. Look at the HP on Overus, but he is still just blockade. Frawley will try to parry behind and clip.
Froley now using Overus as cover, as is Andrew as well, because they have that tank that side he can clip into Yzne. Yzne protecting Stefan. Stefan can now use his teammate as a shield as well, and this is not going to work from that position where Andrew and Froley are.
This is actually really good play by Yzne there, covering Stefan like that, because Froley and Andrew might not pen every shot now, and when they're out of the shells, they need to pull back. Kazna will pressure everywhere.
But in the meantime, Tomasek and Combat have pushed up into the town as well to distract the crossfire from the Kazna crew guns. And Nexus is now being focused at the moment as Combat is getting focused on eSuba. It's going trade for trade at the moment, Mojo, and it looks like actually Kazna crew are, well, eSuba are actually losing this trade because they've lost Combat now as well.
As I said, Kazna will immediately push every possible position to relieve Stefan there. I mean, he survived a havoc there. He survived something that you should never possibly manage, and it's only because Yzne did that block.
Yeah, well, it's not going good for eSuba now. Kazna crew have a lead of 3,000 HP. Lukin's about to go down, and the Mouse, he's a one-shot. He's only at 75 health left. Let's actually listen into the TeamSpeak of eSuba here, Mojo, and see if there's any way that they can claw this one back.
Co, nevidím.
3 venku jedno. Přebijím, dám si přebít.
Tomášku, můžeš tam nějak trošku...
Tomášku, musíš do města
Musíš
spokojovat.
in, jako máš hápka, jsi full, Tomášku. Oni jsou vystřelný. Jedno má 3 venku.
Máhečka.
Ders má 3 venku. Bude nabije možná.
A takhle ti tam...
Miťuket, budem...
Type vystřelil.
Okay.
My zajedu.
To Bčko už bude mít, že?
On zasnul.
Poklidně na sebe. Nexuse.
Já tady nemůžu vůbec nic do píči. Už je 113. Že mě vidí to Bčko skrz tu díru. To máš kura. Andrew, máš nějaký rány?
Si teď jsem vystřelil celý klip, hej.
Kámo, to Bčko je taková mrtka, já mám 1 damage. Totálně mě tam zamknul jejich mouse a jejich 113. Nahoru jsem kupoval Bčko, dal jsem 1. A teď se mě tady prostě rozkrájí mouse na spoty. Bounce mouse z boku.
And there we have it, Mojo. Looks like it's going to be 1-for-1 here on Runeberg. Kazna crew actually winning this one quite comfortably. Still got over 7k HP on the board. And that was eSuba's TeamSpeak we're listening to. For people not familiar with eSuba, they are an all-Czech team. So that's why obviously the communication was not in English.
Yeah, this was a rather interesting play they tried here. It might have actually worked against a less cautious team, but Kazna obviously already anticipated something like this can happen. They already said tanks like T-54 Light to spot it. 113 was really close enough to support with cooldown positions, and it did look like a trained action that Yzne will actually perform a block even if something like this happened. So very well played by them here, and at that moment when that block happened, the eSuba honestly already didn't have any chance.
Yeah, I mean, when we listen into TeamSpeak, sometimes people are like, oh, why are you going into TeamSpeak? They don't speak English. But you can still hear the emotion in the teams, and you could really hear the emotion there from eSuba, and they were quite down in the dumps about that round. You know?
We were unfortunately a bit late with that TeamSpeak. That's my fault. I completely forgot we were supposed to do it. But you could see that they lost any motivation because that pincer of their attack, Bachats, didn't do anything real, and they lost some tanks that were supporting them. And that was, as Ducky would say, done and dusted, because this map is 1-1, and we will see the next one.
It was glorious positioning. I loved the 2 tanks on each team's like shielding their teammates from the angles. Really nicely done. Really nicely done.
That was good trade of the shielders.
Yeah. Let's have a look at the stats, Mojo, and see who came out top damage for their teams. Dares coming out on top in the AMX 50B, then Andrew coming up really high again, so he's in the back chat for eSuba. Then we see Highbot in the Mouse. He's certainly a player that can do really well in the Mouse for his team. Tomasek for eSuba next. Then call me Piotr, Nexus, Stefan. 5 Kazna crew players here on the first page. We always say that, always tells its own story when you have 5 of one team on the first page. Yeah.
4 of them at least I have in a team, but yeah, Vetso didn't play. So what can I do? I must mention it. There's doing rather good here lately. I mean, the first part of the season, he barely even played. He was completely all the time exchanged between Vale and Piotr. So they did rotations with that. But now Kazna put even Vetso in rotations, and they have multiple players that can exchange. And you actually never know who is going to play, but theirs is lately one of the standard ones, actually.
Yeah, and Yzne is usually one playing lights or artillery for them as well, if they have tactics that involve either of those 2 tank classes. speaking of Dares as well, Dares didn't really feature in the team in Season 1 either. It was only later in the season that Dares came into the Kazna crew lineup, and it effectively changed the performance of Kazna crew. They really weren't doing so great at the start of the team, was something we talked about a lot of times internally. We're like, look, perhaps Kazna crew need to shake up the team a little bit. Introduction of Dares, and Kazna crew started winning matches, and it got them through into the season finals last year, where they actually came second place, which was not bad.
Well, it's all internal team decisions. We cannot know always what influences them. Maybe someone was not on all trainings, maybe someone didn't pay attention on trainings, or simply they didn't have time to play all the time together. So you always pick players that were there most of the time, so they know what they're doing actually, because just saying, hey, let's go left, it doesn't really work.
Yeah, indeed. Now, our next map that we're going to be going into here is Himmelsdorf. Once again, it's another really brawl-centric map, another heavy-centric map. Let's have a look at the lineups here, Mojo, and see what we're getting. Now, eSuba going with double mouse Type 4 heavy as their punching bags, and Kazna going with triple mouse and a Type 4 heavy for their punching bags.
You can say Type 4 heavy can be in both teams used because of that high derp gun that has a splash. In a eSuba case, they can try to splash the corner with it and to deal some damage to mouses that are angled. But in Kazna case, the derp can be used in the same fashion. If you have a guy who is angling somewhere in a position that is hard for them to shoot, Type 4 heavy can.
Okay, your predictions for this map?
Kazna has less rotational force, so they actually have to commit and make eSuba play close combat. So if they manage to do that, I'm with them.
I'm thinking it's going to be another 1-1, Mojo. There's one way to find out. Let's jump into Himmelsdorf.
Himmelsdorf, a small city map. The teams start the battle in opposite corners. Both bases are located close to each other, but in a way that you can't stay on the defensive all the time. The main attack routes pass through the hill, the alley and the railroad, but in general, the attack can be successfully executed through any part of the map. Heavy tanks and tank destroyers with powerful guns run the show here. However, a lot depends on the mobile light tanks.
Okay, Mojo, eSuba, red team defending, Kazna crew, blue team attacking. Now, for viewers new to the game, Kazna crew have this awesome black and white camouflage, and eSuba have this awesome blue, black and white camouflage.
And for some reason, eSuba really likes to play usually couple of tanks toward that hill. And it almost never works in their favor. I mean, I've seen it from the older games. They attempted only once, and that was when the team they played against really made a big mistake.
I wonder if they're actually going to go all the way with the climb here, because it's something they've never done before.
No, they did. That's actually when it worked.
Okay.
Because no one came on a hill.
Okay, so maybe it'll work this time, but there is a tank up on the hill. You just need down below, and Kazna crew just holding all their tanks south, and the tactic familiar that Gohard do. Gohard kind of bait teams down the bottom, but realistically, if you're the defensive team, you have no reason to drive past the E-line even, never mind FGH. JK.
This is really, really cheeky play here by eSuba. They've seen Stefan. This is not a tank you usually see on the top of the hill, and they're still pushing there. It does look like Kazna is actually anticipating that. And look at this late push here with mouse tanks. Of course, it's late because they're slow, but it doesn't look like eSuba is best prepared to deal with it.
They're ganging up here, and Stefan can do a truck ton of damage. We saw Breakneck yesterday from this position shooting across the map, and he did massive amounts of damage for Ding. Now, Stefan's going to run, might get another shot on the way. He did get one into combat, one into Frawley as he backs off. He's going to say to his teammates, there's at least 2 tanks up here. And Kazna crew now, as you can see on the minimap, they're starting to make the movement along the K line, and then they're going to push up the rails into the number 1 base.
Oof, Vetsu is playing at least, so something good for me here. Stefan, if you are wondering how did he run away so fast, well, he was already turned to run away. Frawley is doing a super fast approach, trying to chase Stefan, but I'm not sure will that work, because he is far gone.
So another shot came into Frawley there. It came down from the left-hand side, so I can only assume it came from Yizny down below as they drove past the gap and the wall at round about H9. Now here we see Diplomat and Dares pushing up the rails into number 1 base, and Mojo, are eSuba ready for this?
eSuba has Tomaszek back on A2 position. You can see that, but look at Nexus covering there. 2 shots giving for 50 Bs for free. Frawley already took massive damage there. I mean, Type 4 can actually effectively annihilate Frawley or combat in 1 shot now.
Really nicely done there by Nexus as he peeked over the rubbles to be able to get 2 shots off. Now Yizne's going to go up the hill supporting Stefan. This T10 and this 113 are going to try and get the drop on one of these tanks. They can take out Frawley. They can do a lot of damage into combat. Nexus is reloading as well, so they're going to go for it here on the hill, Mojo. They're going to go 3-on-3.
You can see that Kazna already is a bit changing the tactics here. They're not super hard on pressure here. They're expecting that eSuba might pull away and try to help with their tanks, especially when they get pushed by these 3 guys.
That was a lovely bit of camera work there, coming out of the building and following the 2 mouse here as they're starting to shoot up into the railway area of eSuba's defensive line. Now we can see Yizne and Stefan pushing up the hill. They know Andrew's spotted. What can eSuba do against this, Mojo?
Well, they're standing over us as a help, but I really don't like their chances here because they are up against Stefan and Yizne in their single shooters plus Nexus in the Clipper. If they bounce some shells, they're bound to lose all these tanks that are up.
Already, Yizne takes 1 in the track for no damage and returns fire into Frawley, so Frawley's now almost a 1-shot pretty much, 4-5-5. Andrew in combat just waiting to clip out in the 50Bs, but I mean, they're going to take damage for it as well. If they focus fire from the Kazna crew and there's Nexus there as well, this is going to be really hard for eSuba to survive this. They have the firepower, but they don't actually have the HP for this trade.
This is what I've been talking about. Kazna already withdrew their tanks from the rail and they're super slow, so it's barely visible. It's a snail speed, but they are going to pressure the other cap now.
And actually, eSuba have moved a 4th tank up there as well into Overus. So eSuba have the overmatch in tanks here. If they're able to take this fight and still survive, it could be very vital to the flow of the rest of the battle.
Yes, I said the Overus is climbing up, but I still don't like their chances there. He's a tier 9 budget. He can bounce a lot of shells. He can just not connect damage. The problem will be if some of the Kazna players react before time and they manage to come out with 50Bs and clip him out.
Now he is spotted, so the game is up. What Kazna crew going to do? They're going to make the move. They still have these 4 tanks down the bottom, triple mouse and a type 4 heavy, and it looks like they're marching towards the banana road at the moment.
Yeah, you can RR with those, go on a coffee break, come back, and they will be around the area that you're targeted by that time.
And Haiba on the minimap you can see is the one that's pushing forward here. Great viewpoint actually, showing this kind of setup of the tanks at the moment. Now eSuba are rotating around the bottom side of the castle because they know there's no crossfire shots coming in. And they're going to try and take out Yizne here, Mojo, but he's already bounced 1 shot. He takes a 2nd shot. Now where is the rest of the tanks from Kazna crew? They need to help out Yizne here. He's taking absolute pummeling. These tanks are going to kill him, then they're going to back off.
They're doing decent damage back also, but not enough at the moment because they cannot pick up the kills. So eSuba has a couple of guys on a lower HP, and Overus actually might bring a great difference here if he manages to do more damage to Nexus.
Overus missing 1 on Nexus is real important. Stefan's going to hang around to get 1 back into Overus. No, Overus backs off, so the trades, I mean, okay, eSuba got a tank there, but it took a lot of damage for it, Mojo. Don't know if it's necessarily worthwhile because it is only the T10 that they took out the battle there.
3,000 damage difference here, and at the moment 4 guys that potentially type 4 from Kazna can take out in a shot, but he does need to pen that shell, and that's not always the easiest thing. Let's remind ourselves, it's 75 pen on that derp gun.
Mouse coming up here, can he get a shot onto Andrew or combat coming past? There's actually 2 Mouse that have shots here. Haiba on the bottom road, as UKS is actually sitting further back up, so it's not a Kazna crew gun, but you know, Haiba can get a shot here. Can high roll win him, do a lot of damage as well.
Any damage for these guys now is high damage because they are on half HP and less. But it's going to be interesting now, Kazna. Will they actually try to do a real pressure with cap, or they're just going to sit here and wait for someone so they can do damage? Because you can see they don't have the best position. They're getting shot from the hill.
Dare's relying there on Haiba being able to get a shot, but Haiba doesn't actually have the angle. He's driven across the road, and Combat and Andrew clipped out. They got their entire clips into Dares and Haiba there. Haiba's now getting shot by Overus as well. They're going to have to push forward here and try and get Overus out of that area. Overus is dead. He's got between multiple Kazna crew tanks. He's going to get shot in the back. He goes down, but Kazna crew took a lot of damage for this push, Mojo, and it's certainly not decided yet. There's less than 3 minutes now on the clock.
Kazna needs to deal with this tank up Combat and Andrew while holding off the rest of eSuba. If they manage to do that, they will actually win the game. Doesn't matter who they lost so far. But it's not a given.
Haiba getting shot in the back there. He's ammo racked as well. Now Frawley's coming around the bottom here. What damage can he do? Andrew in combat just holding steady here. Stefan and Nexus is going to have to peek around the corner. Now, Ukets and Tomasek are taking damage. Tomasek in at Type 4 heavy. As you see for Kazna crew, it's Haiba and Diplomat being focused at the moment. Haiba now on a one-shot. There's bounces coming in at this duel at the top. As Stefan gets the kill in combat, now they're going to come around and focus onto Andrew. This is very nicely done from Kazna crew. One more from Stefan should do it.
That
Peeks
should
now.
be right now because
Stefan?
Andrew doesn't have shellless anymore.
Stefan missed there, actually. He's going to have to get in the face of Andrew. On the other side, the Diplomat is now down. He's dead. Dares has still got 826 health. I mean, Kazna crew can take this one, but actually down in HP, Mojo. They're down in HP by 2,000 here.
They're heavily down in HP because they just lost the third mouse there, and Lukin is on 100% HP, unscratched there. I don't think there is a way out for Kazna on this one anymore.
Nope, Stefan now takes a shot as he drives around there. Nexus is down to a one-shot now as well. Nexus actually gets the kill on Tomasek, Type 4 heavy, but Lukin can still brawl with these tanks, as can Ukets. They've both got a lot of HP here, and Mouses, you just need to focus their fire. Vetso taking 517 there from Ukets. Frolic in the back chat, he's coming around the back, Mojo. What damage can he do as well? He's still in this fight, he can still clip out someone.
I think he just needs to wait for fight to actually start because eSuba has a lot of HP to play around, while Kazna doesn't. Or he can just go and clip out on Vet, so that works perfectly fine for him.
The broadside there of Stefan. Now, Nexus was waiting to shoot at him as well. Now we can see here, Froley, can he do it? He does actually. Got a great shot there on Nexus. Stefan now the only person left, and this is going to be eSuba taking round one here on Himmelsdorf.
It's really one of the unexpected moments we were talking about. I didn't expect Kazna to struggle already so hard with them. But as we said, always there will be some people who will be happy, some people will be down with it. Gohard is definitely one of the guys that are, yes, yes!
Yeah, Gohard are going to be cheering on eSuba tonight for sure, definitely. I mean, what happened there for Kazna crew?
As I said on a hill, if you overstretch one of those tanks and you get trapped by 50 Bs, it's a common thing even in Clan Wars, you will just lose because the tanks will die like a domino effect. They will simply not have enough gunpowder. If Kazna guys manage to take out at least one of the clippers right there on a hill, it would be okay-ish. Okay-ish, not okay, but okay-ish. But that moment combined with the push from the mouse tanks on the cap, ignoring the 50 Bs in their back, and they knew that they're there the entire time. That was just nonsense.
Yeah,
they lost like 3,000 HP advantage in that moment.
The damage theirs took was like crazy. Then Haiba actually drove across the road where he was actually stopping on. Then Haiba took a huge amount of damage as well. Nexus coming top damage there for Kazna crew, but then the next 4 players, Mojo, all coming out from eSuba. Very nicely done. The 2 50B clippers and the 2 mouse. The tanks you would like to see, the tanks you kind of need to see coming in top damage here.
No, I mean, you would say that Kazna really countered the play of eSuba because by their reactions, I would say they kind of guessed that there is a possibility for that, but in reality, they just outplayed them.
There was team damage as well, Mojo, from Vetso. Has been highlighted by one of our observers. Vetso hit one of his teammates for 512 damage.
Well, that didn't help either.
Definitely not. I wonder where that happened, actually. We totally missed that. He must have derped someone in the back or something like that, or
must have been one of the mouse tanks.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, that could have had a big effect in that battle, actually.
Honestly, at that moment already no. Because they already lost positions and they already lost the key tanks. So that was the problem. If they managed to kill the guys on a hill that were behind them, the 50 Bs, faster, like 20-30 seconds faster, then it would matter because then loss of the mouses down would not be so hard and they would be able to do some damage while it's happening. But like this, it was just nothing special.
Okay, let's have a look at the lineups now for round 2 here in Himmelsdorf. See if the teams are going to bring any surprises, anything new to the table. eSuba are going to be attacking, Kazna crew are defending, and oh, that's a lot of armor on Kazna crew's side.
We're slowly working till that magical number 7 that you want to see so far. But mouses, like in a little cartoon Goliath. 2 tier 9 Chinese heavies for Kazna there, but with this lineup they cannot really push, they can only camp, so my guess is they just need them in a dire case. They actually have to counter push and they don't have anyone mobile enough. It's really super interesting what they're going to plan to do with this.
Now E5, it did receive a slight nerf in the recent update, so it's a bit easier to pen that commander's cupola now.
A bit easier, quite a bit.
Not as strong as it perhaps once was. eSuba going with quite a flexible lineup here. It lends to a lot of opportunities. They can go hill, they can go low, they can push banana roads, but it's going to be a chunk of armor to try and break through from Kazna crew. I mean, the health difference, Kazna crew are starting off with about 2k health over eSuba here.
Well, they did have it in the last game also, but it didn't really help.
Yeah, that's a fair point, actually, yeah. This is going to be interesting, actually. It's going to be, like you said, hyper defensive from Kazna crew. It just depends where they set out their stall. I mean, how are they going to push up and be like defensive, or are they going to sit back and be super defensive?
It looks to me like Kazna is in several last matches just trying to use this current meta while the people are adapting and like, yeah, let's just go with as much as armor and HP we can, and let's see can they even kill us.
I think it was actually Kazna crew that said in one of the TeamSpeak rounds, the problem is we didn't take enough mouse.
Yeah, it was actually.
Yeah. So Kazna crew, blue side defending, eSuba, red side attacking. Now we can see Diplomat taking up position here in the railway station, but yeah, as we said, like long range, that's still a, I mean, it's a big weak spot now that people are going to go for. More reliable to pen now.
I want to see what kind of spotting equipment actually Diplomat has on that E5, because that's the key factor. Stefan with his mouse in a far back support behind him, and eSuba going to their favorite spot on Himmelsdorf Hill with the entire team.
I'm putting the entire team up here, which I'm not sure is the best of all ideas, because Kazna crew have set out their stall to defend from the hill here.
Well, Kazna did that, but they're not spotted, so you can't say really that eSuba knows it.
And eSuba have actually changed their mind.
Yeah, because Overus is spotting, and he's telling them, okay, these guys are completely back, they are leaving us the 1 cap. Do not go toward 2 cap, because there is, I don't know, 3/4 of Kazna team there.
Andrew up here on the top of the hill beside the castle where he can look down across the entire battlefield. Now, you can't actually see anyone because Kazna crew are stuck in behind all the buildings here. Really nice position here from Vetzel, showing how the rubble pile can really make that position effective for the WZ. And Andrew, sitting up above him, is not going to take that bait and drive down the hill.
I can't say I like this play of Kazna. It's too passive for me and too much relying on that amount of armor. If they need to actually rotate to deal with the 1 cap, they need to do it with enough force from the 8 line. But even like that, eSuba can just leave 1 guy on the top of the hill and snipe them in the back all the time, no matter what is going on. And even after he puts the reload and tries going down after the Kazna guys, he will have enough time to catch up with them.
Yep, now Kazna crew making a move down the banana road. You can see that in the minimap. It's Haiba and Dares pushing down there. Dares on the front mouse, Haiba in the back one. They're going to be able to tell their team, hey guys, nothing's over here. So I think they're at the bottom of the rails, which is where pretty much the entire eSuba team is. Now the AMX 13.90 has gone onto the cap circle. He's going to be behind that building in the cap circle. And now it's up to Kazna crew to rotate and react to this.
Kazna needs to move their Type 4 somewhere where they can actually splash that building. So we need to see when will that happen. But, oh, they don't have Type 4. So that's not going to happen.
Cheeky from Andrew, peeks out, gets one into Nexus, gets one into Vet, so he can tell his teammates, hey, there's at least 2 tanks over here. Overus taking one to the face there. Looks like maybe splash damage or a shot from Stefan with an angle there, because he is spotted in the cap circle. Now, that's not great.
No,
cap
that
circle
was a
already
direct
reset.
shot. That was a direct shot.
From Stefan back there, yep. And he's in a mouse, actually, in that back corner at A1.
Yes, I said, like, I thought they actually have Type 4, but I didn't check the lineups correctly. So Virus was peeking here to see is there anyone else, and Stefan just connected on him. Still, there is a cap pressure going, and now when they know where is one mouse, they know where is an E5, they know where are other positions, they still have Andrew behind these tanks. And if anyone tries to cross the field or those streets around the field, and theirs is not really a fastest tank, if he actually wants to fight, he will have to be around there. He's going to get shot in the back.
Potential huge amount of damage coming in for Andrew. Now, Kazna crew at some point are going to have to position tanks, Mojo, down, I guess, the 3 line to try and get crossfire shots into Overus.
This is going to end up in a moment when Kazna actually manages to get Nexus closer to these guys up, because they will have to do an all-out push with these mouth tanks. The thing is, I don't see any hardline snipers for Kazna. You can say Mouse is a hardline sniper now, because of that gun that with rations, which are for Germans chock.
Stefan moving up there, he's getting focused fire. Overus gets splashed, actually, that's a really, really nice shot there A little bit of splash damage onto him, resets the cap circle. Couldn't even see where that came from. It wasn't Highbat, it wasn't Nexus, it was whoever's beside them. Got a nice bit of splash damage there into that shot. Now, Stefan's going to use these oil tankers as a bit of coverage, try and get shots back into himself. He gets one into Frawley. eSuba taking damage here. They're chipping damage down on Kazna, but they're not doing enough damage right now. Overus is in a very dangerous position because now Stefan can actually get reset shots onto him.
As I said, mouse tanks with rations are on about 9.5 seconds reload time, and their guns are fairly accurate, but still, they do need to approach and get the proper angle so they can do something about it. Andrew is actually flanking on Vetso here, and he might take him out.
Andrew is harassing Vetso. He wasn't ready for coming around the corner there. He took 950 damage. One more shot, he gets the kill. He does. So that's them chased round the back. I think it was Dares got a shot into Andrew as well as he was crossing over the 8 line. Andrew's in a reload. Highbat actually coming back to get him to try and deal with him. Andrew better run away. And Dares is now going to get jumped on by Frawley in combat. So it's like Kazna might be losing another tank here, Mojo.
It does look like that because they don't have any flanking potential. That's why I was worried about this lineup, because it was all about will actually eSuba push on one single point of the map. And if they don't, what then?
Dares choosing to shoot at Frawley there because combat's now on the reload. Highbat has found Andrew, comes around and gets the kill there. So that's tank for tank at the moment. eSuba to Kazna. Kazna still have the HP advantage. Now eSuba starting to blow health as well because they've lost Overus in the cap circle. Combat's going to come in and try and kill Dares. Dares gets another final shot into him. Frawley gets a shot into him, but no! Diplomat comes around and gets the kill on combat. Now it's just Frawley and Dares. Dares is going to come off reload first and get another shot into Frawley, and this is not looking well for eSuba, Mojo. It looks like they've overcommitted and they just haven't had enough guns to be able to help out in the fights when it happened.
I can't say that actually eSuba did anything wrong there. They needed to play aggressive against Kazna. It's just this amount of armor is kind of too much for them at the moment. And Kazna did manage to move back on time. I believe that Andrew didn't have to really commit on Vetso, that aggressive there. But they had a plan how to deal with it, and it just didn't work out. Yukitsa and Lukin are the last guys surviving here, which is not something I like because they're mouse tanks. And being out of the fight for so long and just sniping with these tanks is something that actually gave Kazna victory.
Yeah, you kind of need to have your mouses in there brawling and taking shots so the rest of the team can do the damage. Okay, they can do damage when sitting back and sniping, but their biggest strength is their HP and armor, realistically, so you need to kind of use that and abuse it in a way. Now they're caught between Highbat and the rest of Kazna crew. They're going to do damage before they go down, but they are going to go down. This is going to be Kazna crew taking round 2 here on Himmelsdorf, and it's going to be 2-2 all square as we then go into next match, which is Prokhorovka, Kazna's favourite for the 1-2 line push.
Yeah. We heard that one before, but it actually might work. You know, you never know, like 4 or 5 mouse tanks.
I think they'll still try and do it. I honestly think they can do it, just so they can say, bam, told you so, Ektar, told you we can do it.
Just because of you.
I'll be like, well done, 1 out of 6, ain't bad.
Well, this is something that I must say, like in this meta, this is something that I don't really like when you overtake on these armor tanks and you're not flexible enough. I believe that it can work, of course, they've shown us that, but maybe against a better skilled opponent that will measure their timings better and reload.
Yeah.
Kazna will simply just lose tanks one by one, and what then? I mean, those mouse tanks are perfect, but how will they move from the spawn to spawn? How will they defend different points on the map?
Yeah, I mean, it was unfortunate with Andrew. He took 2 shots when he was going in against Vetso. Did a lot of damage, but I think he took 1. Can't tell if he took 1 from Highbat or 1 from Dares when he crossed. Maybe 1 from Highbat, because Highbat knew exactly where he was. So it was good he picked up a kill, but then he died for it. They lost the AMX at pretty much the exact same time, and that was the beginning of the end for eSuba. Now, let's have a look at damage, see who came out on top for their teams. Dares, Diplomat, Piotr, I mean, top 4 coming in from Kazna crew there. Very nicely done from Dares. He is starting to stand out from Kazna crew recently.
Yeah, you can't even say like, hey, the mouse tanks are doing the top damage because almost the entire team of Dares was compiled of mouse tanks.
Yes.
But since we have this high HP builds, we can say, by the teams, you really often see now people having around 4,000 damage done.
Yep, I mean, Andrew's damage came from 1 shot he got into, I think, Nexus and a butt shot, and then the rest of it is the clip damage he done into Vetso, because that's, I mean, Vetso, I think, had 1,800 HP in his tank. So, I mean, Andrew came from a solo kill, and pretty much the rest of the damage from eSuba just wasn't there, really, at all in that fight. Lukin only managed to do 1,000, Combat in the 50B, 1,500. Uket's 1,500 has mouse. Just yeah, I mean a dominating win from Kazna crew. I'm just looking at Haiba's name there. But like you said at the start, it was a very armor heavy lineup from Kazna crew. It looked like it was going to be very hard to get through it.
I'm just hoping as we are going further in the season, yes, we have only a couple of days, but teams will have a bit of time to prepare for playoffs. We will see different versions how to deal with this. Because always, something when patch comes out, something is strong, but there is always a way around it. People are just not aware of it in the very start of the patch and the first moments.
I think Oops have shown that it's possible to do stuff like that by trying to bait teams to go to defend one cap and then going for another cap. I think that's the way to do it against these slow heavy tanks. You need to try and get them out of position and then just do a quick counter hit and then try and either come in behind them and just mop up quickly, then back off, or just try and totally play them out and then just do a rush cap on the other side of the map.
Yes, that's something I would expect more from eSuba here, but they kind of sacrificed a couple of tanks and it didn't work out. They almost took them by surprise, but almost is always a keyword and it doesn't really bring you points.
Yep. Well, let's have a look, Mojo, now at the lineups for Prokhorovka. See what Kazna crew and eSuba are going to bring, what we can see from their lineups here, and what tactics you think they're going to be using with it.
eSuba actually picking an STRV-TD. I was really surprised yesterday when I haven't seen it in a single match on Prokhorovka.
Strange.
But we do have one mouse in attack. It proved to be actually a valuable tank. But Kazna again playing with heavy mouse lineup in defense. Last time I checked, they were using them to spot middle.
Yes. Playing really aggressive with the mouse. Now, eSuba taking their own mouse on attack. I mean, it is kind of, we did talk about this before. We said we might even see mouse on the more open maps like Steph and Prokhorovka, and we do see them here now on Prokhorovka, and we did see them in steps in previous matches as well. That S-Tank can chew through the armor of the mouses, however, so whoever's playing it could have a potentially massive game. Let's find out if they're going to do that or not. It's all square here, 2-2. We're going into Prokhorovka.
Prokhorovka, one of the first maps in the game. Teams start at the regular spawn points as they do in standard battles. Bases are separated from each other by the railway, so the defending team has to choose whether to send their vehicles to the left side, playing them in the centre, or to the right of the railway, occupying the hill and a part of the village. The attacking team usually attacks the first base. However, the teams often go for face-to-face confrontations, 7-on-7, in the hilly terrain at the centre. That's why both teams frequently use vehicles with good gun depression angles and sturdy turrets.
Okay, now eSuba are attacking here. Mojo, it's Kazna crew defending. If you're a fan of either of these teams, folks, drop by their Facebook, give them hello, and say how they're doing.
Kazna obviously going forward with the mouse tanks as they did the last time. Isne is spotting ahead on his RU tank. And let's see, I need to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All my 6 guys are there in a game. All good.
Happened yesterday as well. We were trying to count out who had who in each other's teams, and I couldn't remember actually who was in my lineup. Same with today, I actually forgot, Mojo. All I know is that you had Vetso, and Daki was not happy about that.
Yeah, no, man.
Vetso had a monster game.
Yeah, Vetso did a rather shabby game on Himmels now, but it was at least playing.
Top damage.
Yesterday he was, man. But let's see. Cooldown from eSuba in i7, mouse tanks cannot really chew through that, of course, but will they stay on their side? That's the question. That's the real question, because this is a complete copy-paste from the yesterday games where Kazna pushed here with mouse tanks on the middle and then with Bacha tanks on the side.
Yep, now Kazna crew, they're pushing up here in the middle with their 3 mouse. You can see now Ukets and Frawley are rotating back round the other side. Andrew as well with them. They're totally giving up this 1-2 line, Mojo. They're in danger of potentially being spotted out from the middle. But it looks like they're going to be okay because Kazna crew are not going to push all the way over the hill in the middle. Now the rest of eSuba, they're quite strong here in the town as well. So they're taking control of the right-hand side of the map. But something we do see from Kazna crew doing time after time is they have Yizne back in this area, Mojo, and Yizne is able to counter-spot anything that happens on that side of the map.
It's really super important because they are maintaining some presence on that part, because having so many slow tanks, they do need some heads up is the enemy team coming there. And that's going to come rather soon.
Yizne is jumping over the rails. Looks like he might just hang about for a little bit more, pretend he's a train, try and spot out some more tanks of eSuba. Tomasek getting a shot over there, so Tomasek, I guess, thought that Yizne was in that area and very nearly actually got a shot onto him.
Tomasek is just checking out, is there anyone? Will he get spotted while he's still in kind of a cooldown and can be missed? Because while he's approaching, he's trying to just probe. Are there any traps? What is Kazna actually doing? Are there bush shots in the forest, or they're maybe lying in wait here?
Now, Haiba in this position, we see him, I think, playing yesterday. It was actually really effective. He can peek when he's in that mouse. He's really good. Combat actually taking a shot, and it is Haiba who did that. So just as I said that, Haiba is really good at playing that position and getting shots over onto a base reset if needed. And the mouse is showing actually really good from playing that area.
This is one of the problems for a mouse. When you turn your turret to shoot somewhere, yes, you can take shots from the side. So this is not something Haiba should really repeat in this fashion. But combat already on half HP there. Not a very super exciting game, but so far good for Kazna, honestly, because they are 3000 HP ahead by natural laws, you can say. And yeah, they will be able to deal with the cap, I think.
Here's something that's quite interesting. I've just realised. Kazna crew can do this with Haiba peeking here in the mouse. In the middle, they can send Stefan and Diplomat and the other two mouses through the middle. Now, normally that would be like an IS-7 or an E5. But now you're sending over mouse over there. That's a truck ton of HP to deal with and an armor to try and get through if they want to do resets.
Exactly, and that's the point of this kind of build. So, as I said, Kazna is really using, at the moment, current meta to full potential. But that's a current meta. We will see will that serve in the future that well.
Froley is the one in the cap circle, but Stefan knows where he was. Froley was spotted. I mean, Froley can do shots back into Haiba. Is looking at the moment, is getting shots into Diplomat. Stefan is already there in front of him. Stefan gets one into Looking. It's all going to be now on the remaining tanks of eSuba. Do they have line of sight on these tanks of Kazna crews? They're just going to push over top and bottom here. Kazna crew going for the kill onto combat, and that is really strong play at the moment, and looks like eSuba are on the ropes, Mojo. This is not looking good.
These guys here are definitely taking over because they have 7 guns in the game. Everyone on the cap got deleted. eSuba is split effectively all over the map, and the tanks on this side, on the side toward the cap, will get just annihilated in a matter of the seconds.
eSuba have lost a mouse, they've lost an IS-7, they've lost their S-tank. There's only 4 tanks remaining. Kazna crew still with 7 guns. Tomasek is totally separate from his team down at the south of the map. Gisne's closing in on him. We see Overus right now driving away. He's on a reload. He's on 2 shots pretty much. I mean, no one's going to... I mean, a high roll potentially could come in. But I mean, Andrew here in the gorilla, he's got a lot of damage to do, and it looks like it's not going to happen. It's going to be first time now Kazna crew stepping ahead of eSuba here.
Yeah, I mean, Kazna has every possible advantage here, and Andrew now losing a gun, that's something he has to repair, obviously. Overus deleted from the map, Andrew not far away from that fate, leaving only Ukets and Tomasek there. Yeah, this might even be a 7-0 game if Isne managed to survive.
Can Isne do it? He does get the kill on Tomasek. Now it's only Andrew on a 1-shot, and Ukets with everything to do here. Nobody in Kazna crew actually looks like they're in danger of going down anytime soon.
Wow, they're going for a kill. Isne, you're in danger.
Dares gets the kill on Andrew. Ukets now is caught in the crossfire. He's not going to get over and get the kill on Isne. Isne might peek over and do a sneaky shot. Can Isne actually get the killing blow? No, he's getting himself safe at the moment. Ukets is still hungry for the shot. No, Isne manages to do it. Kazna crew surviving with over 8k HP still on the board. 7 tanks still available. And that was a strong win from Kazna. Exactly what they needed. First time they're now ahead in this match.
eSuba effectively really doesn't know how to deal with this. They did see the yesterday match for sure. They did study it for sure. And they thought they would have a plan. But obviously they didn't take in calculation that when you split tanks and you get pushed by so many guns and so many armor on one spot, you can simply not survive. They had nothing to do enough damage on those mouses. If those old Waffenträgers with clip were still in the game, maybe that would be the only thing to stop this kind of push from the mouses, but nothing else.
I'll be honest, I hated that tank, to be honest, that Waffentrager.
It was kind of disgusting.
Yeah.
It was like an anti-air gun with a railgun precision.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Parked on a tank.
It was ridiculous. Now, damage done, Mojo, let's have a look and see who was top there. I mean, I'm starting to see a pattern here with Kazna crew, in which is when Haiba's playing a mouse, Haiba is pretty damn effective in the mouse, to be honest.
Well, this is to be expected because those tanks are usually in the best position to do the damage in the game, of course. And they really only have to angle their tank a bit. They don't really have to watch after every speck of HP like a light tank or a buttshot. Isne actually for a light tank doing brilliant damage. They're almost 1800. Well played.
Well played. Yep, 6th place there from Isne. RU251. Stefan 2.4, Haiba 2.4. I mean, damage shared across the tanks here of Kazna crew, actually. I mean, it was a kind of late setup from eSuba there, so we didn't see as much damage done as we've seen like in brawl maps, like when we see from Ghost Town, for example, or Himmelsdorf or Ruinberg. But still, I mean, the top 4 players were all coming in from Kazna crew there. But look at this, I mean, 10th place to 14th place were tanks from eSuba. Frolly never really had the chance to get that STRV to work for him. Combat was focused really simply at the start. Overus pretty much didn't factor in the battle. Tomasek, UKS, yeah, it was just a dominating display there from Kazna crew, showing that they kind of have a bit of a better read now of Prokhorovka.
Obviously, because eSuba has about 0% in attack on Prokhorovka, and that didn't change, but they have decent defense.
Yeah.
So far, around 70%, so we will see will Kazna actually be able to break them, because that's the hard part here.
Yep, indeed. If they don't manage to do it, it's going to go into 3-3. So it's certainly eSuba not rolling over for Kazna crew here. They're saying, hey, Kazna, we don't really want to be 6th place in the league here. We don't want to play whoever might be 3rd place. So we're going to make it difficult for you. You're not getting an easy pass to 1-2. Let's have a look at the lineups now going into round 2 and actually see what vehicles the teams are going to be bringing, because I'm expecting an S-Tank again. There we go.
eSuba playing with
tier 9 one.
STRV TD in defense, which is okay. It's really good against any kind of rotation against budgets. But Kazna in attack, using it for the same purpose. And 0 mouse, thank God, finally, because this is much more mobile setup.
It's going to be interesting because both of these STRVs are capable of chewing through armor. Now, no mouse this time from Kazna crew as well.
But there is one from eSuba, and actually Kazna with these 2 TDs can use it well, because one mouse by itself is not the biggest damage dealer in the game.
Not the biggest of threats, no. I mean, I imagine he's going to play up that middle line, perhaps.
I really don't see a bigger use for him than to keep him somewhere on A6 or eventually in some kind of a trap, I don't know.
Now, eSuba are going to be red side defending, Kazna crew on the blue side attacking. Vetso in the lineup once again, Mojo, for Kazna, you'll be happy to see. Yizne on the scout as expected, RU251. And we're going to see Nexus playing the gorilla. So Nexus is kind of like their default TD man, isn't he, for Kazna crew?
Usually it was Stefan before, but they kind of swapped places, and he's playing other stuff like budgets now. But as you can see, both of them are now on TDs at the moment.
Yeah, Diplomat sometimes as well. I mean, Diplomat used to play with Gohard. He used to play the TDs and
Not
artillery.
since he came to Kazna.
Yeah, from Kazna crew, he's not been doing it. He's been playing the heavy tanks, much like Alien going to Ding and playing heavy tanks now as well. So here from the viewpoint of Overus, as he pushes forward, Tomasek has already gone middle line to try and see what he's going to see. Kazna crew actually splitting left and right and only sending Haiba up in IS-7 through the middle here.
Haiba got really early spotted there by Tomasek. He might have wanted to mask that approach better, because you can always avoid spotters by being in some bush. But there is go, like a number 2 push here by eSuba, while Kazna has a couple of tanks there. Let's see how will that work out.
eSuba not hanging around here. They're going for a choo-choo train. They're going to show Kazna how to do it. eSuba have Frolly behind them as well. Kazna crew shots coming in there. They've already tried to combat. They're pummeling shots into him. The Batchats are not moving out at the moment. They're still staying behind combat, letting him take all the shots. Diplomat's now being focused back. Stefan's doing a clip damage in his 103, so STRV doing lots of damage. Now they're pushing up again. Combat's now down to 1 shot. What can Andrew and UKS do here? They're both starting to clip out. They haven't really done any shots. They're both firing. They're just starting their clips. Stefan's still not taking any damage here. Diplomat, however, is taking absolute pummeling in the 113. Andrew getting the kill here. Now, UKS can go forward. He's got 4 shots. He's going to try and rush around the side of Stefan. Andrew's taking all the damage here at the moment. UKS now is going to get the drop on Stefan. This is nicely done from eSuba, but they're taking a lot of damage in doing this. And UKS actually is taking too long to kill Stefan. He doesn't have enough shots to do it. He does, actually. 1 more shot and he's doing it, but now Dares is chasing him away. What can Frolly do to save his teammate?
Nothing really. He will do a shot, and that's about that. This was bound to fail from the start. Kazna should not fail to something they failed doing so many times already. And now Frolly is spotted here. He will take side shots from Haiba. He needs to move back, and these Batchats will punish any movement he does.
Frolly now getting shot from multiple angles. He's going to have to turn and run and hope that his camo can save him. A tracking shot will totally wreck him. Haiba getting another shot into the side of him. Frolly goes unspotted. Will there be a magical blind shot getting him in the butt? No, it looks like he's going to get saved. So eSuba now survive with only 4 tanks available to them. Sorry, 5, no?
Four.
4 tanks available, yep. And Kazna crew with 5, but Yisne actually just took a massive shot to the face there.
Yes, Suba there has a lot of HP here, even maybe a bit more than Kazna, but it doesn't matter because it's all centered around one person, a mouse, the slowest tank on the map. So, Kazna also has a problem of a similar nature because most of their HP is gathered right here as we see it on Nexus. And that's why they're actually using Nexus as a battering ram and not just as a sniper because Bachats played by Durs and Vetso are far more valuable at the moment than just one TD.
Kazna crew doing the reverse train. Kazna crew, if you're going to watch this back, this doesn't count, boys. There's nobody on this flank. They're not ready for you. But Nexus leading the charge of theirs coming behind them. Frawley and Overus are not going to be able to survive this once they get up there.
This can honestly go both ways because if Frawley and Overus manage to connect enough shells on time, they might pick up both Nexus and Durs.
Frawley going to shoot at Dares. Overus going to shoot at Nexus. Frawley's actually unspotted. Nexus is now taking the shots. Frawley. Oh, nice damage here actually from eSuba. They're being able to focus into the tanks. Frawley's still unspotted at the moment. He gets the kill on Nexus. Overus has got 2 more shots into him. He's not spotted yet. 1 more from Frawley into Dares. And they do so, and that's very nicely done from eSuba, Mojo. The Kazna crew 1-2 push has failed again. And Kazna crew are now losing this round to eSuba.
This is unbelievable. Again, instead of pushing to the other side of the battlefield and taking the 2-cap easy with the tanks they have. Like the mouse is the only guy who could effectively spot them, but what would he do about it? They again went for a 1-2 line and died again.
And look at this, looking just sitting up in the middle of the map saying, here I am right now, come kill me. He's going to get 1 more shot into a high buff, should be able to kill him here. Vessel's a 1-shot, Yizne's a 1-shot. Lucan can just take as much damage as he wants. Tomasek can harass them on the sides. Overus can sit from a sniper position and shoot people. And here we go, it's actually Tomasek coming around the back here, getting the drop on Kazna crew. Vessel popping out, trying to get a shot on, but Tomasek can actually trade with them right now. Vessel gets a hit, Tomasek misses actually, Vessel gets another one, Tomasek's now in a 1-shot, Vessel's going to actually kill him here. He does spot the rest of eSuba, know exactly where Kazna crew are. Vessel, 1 man on a mission, 95 health against 3 tanks, and well, this one looks to be eSuba's round.
This is really highly unexpected after that suicidal push from eSuba, but Kazna really deserve to hang themselves for this one. I mean, it's a high-stake game. And to do that was just a bad calculation. That was just a really bad call.
Kazna, just look at Prokhorovka as if it doesn't have a 1-2 line. And then everything will be fine. Everything will be fine.
It's good. They defended the 1-2 line. They won the game practically there, and then they just threw it for no real reason.
The shooting was really nice from eSuba, because the vital thing was is that Overus didn't take damage from Dares and Nexus when he was shooting them.
The point is, Overus got spotted, but he was in cooldown.
Yeah.
And the STRV didn't get spotted, but Kazna should have known that because they kept Nexus there also. You could see that Grilla actually tried to blind shoot one of the bushes. He did a best call that he could make at that moment, but it was the bush next to the position where the TD was. So it didn't really work out. Frawley was safe even on those 200 HP.
Vetzel running up the right-hand side of the map. Now, all the tanks from eSuba are actually on the left-hand side of the map, as you can see here on the mini-map. Hunting for Vetzel, they still think he's in that corner, and Vetzel's just doing the runaround right now, giving Kazna crew time to talk to each other, what went wrong in that one, and basically allowing Kazna crew to think about the next map, which is going to be Ghost Town. So on Ghost Town, we're either going to get a winner, or we're going to get a tiebreaker, Mojo. There's it's certainly not going to be a pushover for Kazna crew, and if Kazna crew lose the tiebreaker, is that still going to work for Gunners, or is that still not going to be good enough?
It's like this. If Kazna wins 2 points in this match, they are still above Gohard, and Gohard cannot do anything because if Gohard wins their match, they will have the same amount of points. Kazna won 2 times over Gohard, so they will be above them. If Kazna wins only 1 point, everything is still open. If Kazna wins 0 points, of course, everything 0 or 1, it doesn't matter.
And the thing is Gohard then play after Kazna crew after this, so they're going to be watching this like a hawk. I mean, it's like you said, Gohard either have everything to play for in the next match, or they have nothing to play for in the next match.
Yeah, if Kazna wins 2 points or 3 points here, that means a clear victory, like 5-3. Or if they win in tiebreaker, like 5-4, Kazna is secure on second spot. Secure.
Yeah.
No one can endanger them.
And it makes the next match really interesting because Gunrunners have nothing to play for because they can't get 6th space. And Go Hard have got 3rd place locked in because of the points difference, so there's no way to lose 3rd place.
I must say one thing. The game I liked in the season most by Gunrunners is when they said they prepared absolutely nothing and they just played it and they won. So Gunrunners may just decide to do something completely ludicrous and win match by it. You never know.
Yeah, and to be fair, that's exactly what Oops have said before in past matches. Like, I said to them, you know, what was the difference? And they said, well, you know, secretly, I'm not going to say which matches it was, but they hadn't really prepped for it and they just went into it relaxed and less pressure, and they actually looked outstanding. So maybe sometimes that's what teams need. They just need to relax. Easier said than done, I guess, when we're sitting behind the desk and we're not the ones playing. I mean, I've never experienced the adrenaline rush and the pressure, Mojo, but you and Daki certainly have.
It's really horrible when you are leading and people are just not doing the things that you practiced over and over and over again. Like when the match starts, someone just forgets what he's supposed to do. And that can really make high pressure points on commanders of the team, and then that can be spread out on the players. So it's really super important to actually have players in a team that will balance it out.
Yeah. And for those unfamiliar with what's happening right now, Kazna crew know the match is over. There's nothing that they can do to win this because Vetsel's a one-shot 95 health. If the countdown goes all the way down to 0, eSuba win this automatically as the defensive team. Now what Kazna are doing right now is they're basically playing for time. This allows Kazna crew time to talk about what they want to do for the next map, because right now, basically, once this round is over, they have less than a minute, effectively, to ready up, choose their tanks, get into the next battle, right into the next map. So this gives the teams time to say, okay, guys, chill, let's relax, you know, we knew this was going to be a tough game. eSuba haven't been a pushover for us. We really need to win this, however, if we want to be 1 and 2.
Well, honestly, with this amount, with this amount of time, some of them might even take a shower, man.
Yeah.
They had enough.
And then on the flip side, I mean, you're talking about how stressful it can be. How difficult is it to not snap at each other in situations like this, Mojo?
It's just a personality matter. I remember I played one other game, and when I guessed it for some team that was one of the best in the world at that time, in Guild Wars, I was completely shocked. Those guys were killing everyone, and they were talking to each other like they're on a tea party.
Yeah, nice and calm.
Yeah, nice and calm. Like in the moments when I would probably go spitting fire everywhere.
Oh bother, I missed another shot. Well, don't worry, gentlemen, I shall take another shot.
Yeah, about that. Like a cooldown, focus this, do that. Like you're doing over some tedious job, you know? But not everyone is like that. Every team is different. Kazna is one of the more emotional teams, of course. I think they kind of lowered it over the years. But in a start, it was like fire all over the place, I can tell you that.
Yeah, I think I've heard Kazna comms in the past like that. Oops are another team that's quite emotional in their comms as well. And actually, we heard that from Kazna crew earlier on today on Ruinberg when we listened in.
When things happen, things can be heard.
No, you said. It's like, whoa, guys, okay. You know, as I think you've said before, it's done, it's gone. Like, just like get over it. You know.
Maybe they're one next to another, a headbutt.
Yeah, you can't change what's happened, and you can see that. That's the thing I love about the LAN finals when we have them. You can see the teams, you can see them, you know, sometimes when something happens, you see the guy looking across as if to say, mate, what you doing? Like, you're killing us here.
Well, still, Kazna lost this in, again, a depressing way. Honestly, that 1-2 line push, that's going to stay with them. I mean, I'm really sorry that you actually don't have another interview with Kazna, because you could just ask Vetso, like,
Frawley,
dude.
4.3k damage there and 2 kills from that position there on the 1-2 line.
Well, STRV worked well, and it was his purpose, a best possible purpose, a defense of a 1-2 line. And hey, he did it. And
looking as well, he did a truck ton of damage from that middle position in the mouse. Then the next highest player from eSuba was Overus. Vital that he survived. He was one of the tanks who went down in that 1-2 line push, was able to run away, was able to get back, and then continue to shoot at the tanks of Kazna crew when they came back up the 1-2 line.
Yeah, not much to be said here about combat in his i7, but he was a meat shield, something that guys like Haiba also played for Kazna when they were doing the pushes, so you don't really expect, you expect maybe one connection.
One or two, maybe. Yeah.
One, man, and that's it.
That's a shame, but I mean, he served his purpose. He was there to block shots, and to be fair, he took a hell of a lot of shots. And actually, if you watched what eSuba did, both batchats didn't come out and shoot at the same time. It was one tank first, which I think was Frawley came out, and then Overus came out and then did the shooting. So they didn't just waste all the shots. They let one guy get his clip out and then let the other guy.
No, there
get
is
his
no
clip
room.
out.
They had to use their shield, and they still had the STRV TD behind them to cover them and do damage on anyone who opens themselves. So it was decently done by them, but it was supposed to be a really lost round.
Yep. Now we're going to go into Ghost Town. Potential win here. A team can take it 5-3. Or, the way it's been going with these two teams, it's likely to be 1-1 and then go into tiebreaker. Now, this is a mouse-heavy map. We've got 8 mouse on the battlefield.
Oh,
Mojo.
we almost broke all the standards, but we already had them once. It was just 5-3 division. This is kind of equal. eSuba here in defense and having 2 50Bs and RU to spot ahead of them. When you have 4 mouses, it does say you actually are looking for a fight, no matter that you're defending. And I kind of like the fact they have those 2 clippers because it gives them potential to flank and deal with one of the tanks.
It's going to be vitally important how much damage these two AMX 50Bs can do. If they can get a good drop on a mouse, take down the mouse, take down the damage, or even if they can focus out one of the other tanks.
I would say if they
WZ,
focus one of the other tanks, primarily, not mouses, they have a good chance.
Well, let's find out who's going to take the lead here. Who's going to go 4-3 ahead? Will it be eSuba or Kazna crew? We're going into Ghost Town.
Ghost Town. The first absolutely symmetrical map, made especially for 7 versus 7 games. The teams start the battle on opposite sides. There are numerous ways to attack here. One of the bases is located in the central square, the other one at the top of the city. The hardest battles are usually fought for the top base, and this calls for the use of heavy tanks. Sometimes the teams choose fast tanks for spotting and base capturing.
Okay, now Mojo, it is eSuba, red team defending. It is Kazna crew on the blue side attacking. And this is the viewpoint here from Kazna crew as they slowly move into the city. Now we're with eSuba.
Exactly. Blue, eSuba, Kazna, black and white.
Type 62 actually, if you're participating in the quest. A couple of things to remember about the quest right now. All you need to do is follow what Nightbot tells you to do. You don't need to ask for polls because they're generated randomly, and everyone who completes the quest has an equal chance to win.
Okay.
How many battles you've played or your statistics have nothing to do with it, so please don't bring that up.
Kazna is playing gather up team and they are going to press over the 1 cap. They do want to push IS-7 there in position in a cooldown because eSuba doesn't really have any tank that can decap. And they are expecting that eSuba will try to brawl with them, but they will try to block them off with their own mouse tanks in this little courtyard graveyard, I can even call it, because if that alley is alley of death about it, this should be a graveyard, man.
Haiba getting shot in the back as we see the tanks of eSuba already wrapped around the back. That was Frawley. He looks like he got shot and instantly went on reload. So the 50Bs here are spotted as the mouse come around the other side. Andrew takes one back there, 251. And there's a base cap started here by Kazna crew. Vetso taking a lot of damage there as he peeked over the hill. He's actually got a damaged gun as well, and Zisne's taking a bit more damage as well, Mojo. This is a great start here from eSuba.
Yeah, Vetso there did one shot on that 50B and paid with almost entire HP. This is what I said, this is what eSuba actually needs to lower the HP of the other guys in the team and deal with the mouses later when they lower the number of the guns in the game.
Stefan getting a nice shot into the back of Overus there as Ukets is also taking damage. Now at some point Stefan has to perhaps come off this cap circle. It looks like Kazna crew are all gearing up to protect that area. The 50Bs of eSuba are going to move off the south of the map. They're going to start advancing up into the town and look for angles on these tanks of Kazna crew.
They're taking a really slow approach here because they cannot allow themselves on this terrace here to get shot by Isna. Isna is in really great cooldown and he cannot easily get penned unless he makes some big mistakes. Still, they do need to deal with the cap. Stefan is also here in a great cooldown position, so he can do damage if someone is just approaching blindly from that side. The thing is, how will they use their 50Bs now? They changed the rotation because they saw that they cannot really deal with Kazna from that side. And it's going to be interesting to see now. What will Kazna do?
Nexus, this is what I think is going to happen. Nexus is going to move in the cap circle, protect Stefan, who's got the capture points. Then they're going to try and sneak Vetso in behind Stefan and try and triple cap perhaps here.
Yeah, I believe that will happen. But problem is, Vetso is now on one shot. He really should not have allowed himself to lose so much HP. Otherwise, this game would be a high-pressure game and there would be maybe 10 to 15 seconds on a cap now. But this amount of time leaves a great opening.
Andrew and Frawley shaping up here to get shots into Stefan and Nexus. Well, Ukets is leading the way. He's going to be the punching bag, shoot down some buildings. He misses there on Stefan. Takes one back in the face for his troubles as Dares gets shot at in his mouse on Kazna crew. Now, what can eSuba do here? They're sending in Frawley and Andrew. Frawley's taking a shot already. They still have all their shots, though. Who are they going to clip out into? Frawley's taking more damage here. Andrew perhaps needs to block from him. Yeasney's taking damage. And this is not going well for Frawley. He's getting pummeled here because Nexus is there. Looks like they went counting on it. And these 50 Bs, Mojo, the damage dealers, are going to get killed here by the tanks of Kazna crew. They have nowhere to go, and they're not supported by the rest of their team.
No, this was not the best. I really don't know what were Overus, Lucian and Combat doing with their mouse tank on the other side. They were supposed to be a spearhead, and then these three guys, Ukets and 250Bs, should emerge and start shooting and clipping on the back. Like this is a sold-out game already. I don't think they have any chance to win this anymore.
The brawl's happening here over the cap circle. But look at this, Kazna crew pick up another 2 tanks. So that means eSuba have now lost their 250Bs, they've lost one of their mouse, and they've lost their scout. Kazna crew are now on cleanup duty here. They have the advantage, they have all the guns still available to them, and eSuba, they're going to go down swinging, they're going to try and do as much damage as they can, but Kazna crew can smell blood. They want to go for that kill, they want to take the lead here and then be on match point going into the next round here onto Ghost Town.
Okay, for Kazna, the key thing is they already secured going to the tiebreaker, but for them, taking 0 or 1 point, it doesn't make any difference. Now they need to win the next round or to win the tiebreaker if they want to be the second.
And that was Kazna crew
first.
Kazna crew surviving here. 5 tanks available, 7k HP still on the board. Depending if Lucan can get one more shot. And well, let's be honest, Mojo, in that round, it wasn't so much what did Kazna crew do well, it was more of what did eSuba do badly.
eSuba opened the match well when they managed to trap Vetso like that. Vetso did a careless reaction, shooting on them, and he got spotted. He didn't really expect it. So taking about, I don't know, 1,300 damage back, that's something that eSuba really needed and Kazna didn't. But after that response from eSuba was just kind of too risky and not well coordinating. Usually you would press with those 3 grouped up mouses and they should take the bulk of initial damage from Kazna, and then Ukets and the 50Bs around the corners should come when no one is aiming actually on them and do the high pressure on Kazna, clip them in the back, take out at least 1 tank from the cap, focus him out. But that just didn't happen.
It looked like when they did make the push, it looked like they were meant to follow in the mouse, but when the 250Bs went forward, it looked like there was quite clearly miscommunication about who they should shoot at first, because they're like, oh wait, Hyba's here, oh wait, Dares is also here on the mouse, and then there's still the, you know, you've still got the IS-7 in the cap circle, and then you still had Yeasney behind them and the WZ shooting them as well.
Yeah, they didn't have the best angles to shoot them. That's why they would need to approach and shoot them point blank, which would leave them wide open to get shot from any side. That's why I said those mouses should have been engaged much earlier, because it would not give Kazna opportunity to just shoot them from wherever they want.
Yep. In the end, it was actually Dares who came top damage there for Kazna crew. You can see here, I mean, you've got 5 eSuba players on the second page. Frawley being one of the AMX 50Bs, only actually managed to land 1 shot. So that was a pretty terrible play, if we're honest here, from the 50Bs. Obviously, a breakdown in communication somewhere along the line there for eSuba. They had the positional play to be able to do a lot of damage into Kazna crew, and well, Kazna crew just were gifted that round on a plate, really.
Yep. At the moment, Kazna is on their match point, so if they manage to pick up their defense on a ghost town, they will win a clear 3 points, and they will possibly even be first in this season. So not second for sure, but maybe even first, because they have 1 more match to play. But if they actually lose this, and if they lose the tiebreaker, then Gohard actually has a chance to overtake them on a second spot. So that are the stakes here for these guys. For eSuba, well, it's only to try to take a spot away from Oops and be 5th again. Yep,
I mean, if Kazna do lose this one, then their future is in their own hands as they play against Oops for the last match, as they've got, which I think is actually tomorrow. Or Sunday, one of the 2. But here we see the lineups, Mojo, going into round 2 of Ghost Town. eSuba going super heavy again. It's actually the same lineup they're bringing here. And Kazna crew going a bit more flexible.
Yeah, Kazna played something similar to this last time in defense, but this time MX prototype, so they want to climb it. Possibly they will actually not do it because there is a identical lineup in attack from eSuba, so they might actually try to flank from the start, though they're defending.
Yeah, I mean, to me, this looks like eSuba want to go for the fight rather than a cap tactic here. They want to try and engage the tanks of Kazna crew, try and take them down. I mean, the MX-30 prototype doesn't have a lot of armor. The Batchat obviously doesn't have a lot of armor. They can chew through the Type 4 Heavy as well for these 50Bs. It's, again, a lot depends on the 50Bs here of eSuba and whether they can get the damage out and survive in doing so. They need to get 2 clips out each, effectively, here. And we just saw in the previous round, Frawley got 1 shot out, never mind 1 clip.
Well, he didn't really play it out to the fullest, but we will see what will happen in this game here as they are getting ready to start it off. I mean, eSuba now in attack, Kazna in defense. High stakes.
High stakes indeed. This is it, Kazna crew. You can either put Gohar down into 3rd place, or you can make things difficult and have to secure your 1 and 2 spot in the last match of the season. So even if Kazna crew lose this one and Gohard win the next match, it's still not 100% certain. It still then sits
It just gives
on,
an opportunity to go ahead.
Yes, it still then sits on Kazna crew's shoulders. They have their own future in their own hands. I mean, they have it now, to be honest. They're getting a hell of a tough match from eSuba.
Yeah, much harder than anyone would expect. Kind of not the best plays by Kazna today. I'm not really impressed how they were handling some of the games, but still, there is plenty to see more.
Yeah, I mean, eSuba want this win as well because it'll move them off 6th place into 5th place, which means then Utopia are in 6th place, which means Utopia would have to play whoever's 3rd place the way things are currently sitting. Utopia still have to play against eSuba, actually, so that last match of the season between eSuba, they want, again, like Kazna crew, they want to have the destiny in their own hands.
Okay, Kazna chose to play defensive. They didn't want to push anywhere, so they wouldn't run in any kind of silly trap, which was maybe even the best choice because eSuba pressured from the lower side, and they will have a sturdy defense from Kazna toward them because both mouses from Kazna are actually situated to deal with exactly that.
eSuba here. I mean, they're going hyper aggressive down the south side of the map. Mojo, they spot out Dares, Combat, and Overus leading the way. Overus not getting spotted because he is behind Combat. Dares is backed off a little bit after seeing one of those mouses. And yeah, Kazna crew kind of spread out here. Like I say, it doesn't look like eSuba want to do any kind of cap tactics. It looks like they just want a fight with Kazna crew. They want to just rely on the armor and the HP of the mouses to soak as many shots as they can, while the 50Bs try and do as much damage as they can.
Well, they can always, because they are spotting with Tomaszek from the other side, they can move away Kazna from this left side of the battlefield and then pressure the cap. That is always an option for them.
Vetso taking damage there, 417 as he was spotted, and Combat and eSuba has taken a little bit of damage as well. Teams yet to engage. Haiba's got track damage, Vetso's got track damage. Combat actually had, looked like engine damage there, but immediately got it repaired.
That was just a track.
Just a track damage as well. And Vetso actually trying to play peekaboo, can't try and side scrape in that armor, but I mean, 50Bs or the mouse are still going to chew through that armor there.
Now, the problem with Type 4 and Type 5 eventually is that it's heavily armored tank, but it works only really well on a distance. When you close up on an enemy, there is always some flat surface to him, and the golden shells would just pass. You cannot really angle it well as mouse.
You can see here 2 tanks, Ukets and his teammate moving forward. They're trying to get shots. They actually both didn't connect off the shots, and it was Lukin who took one back. Now Frawley and Andrew are going to rotate round towards the north of the map. Look at this, Dares is spotting out Tomaszek, Mojo at the top. Tomaszek actually got a shot off, managed to get himself hidden, and Dares didn't get one back. Andrew and Frawley might get a pick here on Dares.
I don't think it's gonna be really viable because some of the Kazna guys should come there. Dares did spot one of the 50Bs coming, but he is losing so much HP trying to cross.
He's dead. He's gone. One more shot and he's dead. Now this gives a lot of information though at the same time to Kazna crew because they're going to know that the autoloaders are over on that side. Do Kazna crew do an immediate push to try and get a jump onto one of these Suba tanks?
There is no immediate push because there is no one to push. There is only Stefan and Nexus who can do it, and they can certainly not gather up that much and do any kind of significant impact. This is a great blow for Kazna here, losing Dares cheaply like this. Tomaszek, yes, he will pressure cap here, but that's not a real game. The real game will be when the mouse tanks push and they will push on a 2 cap. The 50Bs will come here to support Tomaszek a bit, but the real play will be on a 2 cap.
This is bold from Tomasek because he is spotted. Kazna crew knew where he was and where he went to hide, so I'd imagine that Isnay's going to get up in that position and just blind fire a shell over there into the base. As Diplomat actually took a damage there. He shot at Tomasek. Tomasek down now onto a one-shot in that RU in the base. Andrew and Frawley desperate to pick ground here. Vessel's going to be the one facing him, so Vessel could get huge damage into one of these AMXs in just a second.
There we go. These tanks will be now in the crossfire. 50Bs will cross and they will attack on Haiba and Vetso there. But there is no one to actually return fire to them. Another tank from Kazna falling almost for free. And these guys can put a reload and run away again because there is no one to give them the chase.
And this is exactly what should have happened in the previous round. The 50Bs are the ones doing the damage where the Mouses act as a distraction and get in the blockade. Now we saw that whilst the 50Bs poked round that corner, the Mouse came round the bottom corner and it was Haiba they're focusing on. It's Haiba they are continuing to focus down now here. Haiba has only got 845 health. They're now shooting into Diplomat but they can't get the angles on him. Haiba again takes another shot. He's down to 367. He's down onto a one shot now. As Andrew actually picks up the kill on Haiba. These AMX 50Bs Mojo are chewing through the armor and tanks of Kazna crew right now.
They're using their mobility finally better in their favor here. And those Mouses, honestly, they have so much advantage in the game. They should have just pushed on Diplomat and tried to shoot him in a flank, not without any angling or any tiptoeing in the game.
Tomasek just picked up Nexus there on a 50B. Now Andrew and Frawley are going to get the drop onto Stefan. eSuba are absolutely hammering Kazna crew right now. This is going to go into tiebreaker mojo. Kazna crew is destiny is not safe yet, and eSuba have now guaranteed themselves a point as well. This is going to be 4-4. We're going to be going into mines for our tiebreaker.
It's going to be rather interesting what happens there because eSuba, if they actually manage to pick up 2 points, they're going to be equal with Utopia above them. So yeah, I made a mistake, not oops, but Utopia.
This is interesting as well because eSuba look like they're going to finish this round with more HP than what Kazna crew had in the previous rounds. eSuba currently with all their tanks alive and sitting on 8.8k. That's actually what Kazna crew had. They had 8.8 as well. Yisney now being shot at by Frawley, who's going in for the kill. Yisney will get one more kill on him. Frawley with the ram and then a shot to the face. So eSuba 8.6 on the board. Kazna crew 8.8 previously. And well, these teams are proving right now that they're just as good as each other.
This can really cook up heavily. eSuba actually, if they manage to pick up these 2 points, they will be same as Utopia. But Utopia won 2 previous games against them. And the last match will be between
Utopia
them and eSuba.
eSuba. Wow.
Yes.
So that's it. And both of those teams would be hungry for that because right now they don't know if they'd be playing Kazna crew or Gohard.
So that will be a match to watch for sure. On the other hand, Kazna does want this last point. They do want to win these mines because if they win the second point here, they are secure. No matter what happens in the next match against Oops. And we all know, yes, Oops has really shaky season, but they can be super unpredictable and hard opponent.
Yeah, indeed, indeed. Oops can definitely blow hot or cold. You never quite know what you're going to get, and you can see here how the maps have gone. I mean, it's been 1 for 1 every map so far, really. It's always been eSuba taking the lead until the last map there on Ghost Town, where it was actually Kazna who took the lead.
Not kind of an evening we were actually expecting.
No, as I said, I was expecting 2 very quick wins today, actually. I was expecting Kazna to smash eSuba, and I was expecting Gohard to smash Gunrunners, but...
Kazna smash.
Well, you just never know what you can get. Frawley and Andrew, top damage dealers now on the 50Bs. What a turnaround from the previous game, and it was Frawley actually doing the hyper carry here. 4.4k damage compared to Andrew's 2.7 there in second place. Both of them getting 2 kills, and so 4 kills, so more than half the kills going on to those guys, and they did exactly what they needed to do in that round from eSuba. That was really nice play from the 50Bs.
Finally, rotational tanks that actually overmatched attacking mouse tanks. This is something I said, like, as the meta keeps going, things will change. You cannot all the time win the games with so many slow tanks unless you actually effectively draw your enemy in a close combat battle with you. This is what you need with mouse tanks. If you don't manage to do that, that means you need to high pressure the cap or something like that. If you don't manage to do it, the Clippers, when they start flanking, if they take out a single tank from the enemy, like they took out theirs now, they will overmatch.
And it just makes you think how different it could have gone had eSuba done that properly in the first round, where they had the exact same lineup and they just threw away the 50Bs at the start of the match.
Well, it wasn't the start, it was actually the end, but already Kazna established some positions there, and they did take the cap in that moment. They had a hold down position, so even if eSuba did everything right in that game, it wouldn't really be a certainty that they would actually take the top hand out of push from the Clippers, because they had no chance to really rotate left and right and buy time, because in this case, they had all the time in the world they wanted, because they're attackers. That's why this map is actually pro-attacking map, because attacker here can dictate what will be done.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be super interesting to see how the teams play this. Are we going to see any kind of rush tactics on mines? Is it going to be more patient play? Is it going to be more strategic play? We have seen a shift in the meta now with the heavy tanks. It doesn't necessarily lend itself so well to mines, because it's still a very open map with lots of easy angles potentially to do. If any team can do climbs, for example, on the right-hand side of the map, that can be a very vital position. Artillery can still be very vital as well. We've seen Lorraine's been dominant on mines as well. Let's have a look at the lineups, Mojo, and find out what we're going to get, because I'm looking forward to this one. It's super important for both teams, and, well, this could be who decides first and 2 spots in the league right now.
Well, Kazna in defense, 3 mouse tanks, and Type 4 heavy, and some butt-shots. Honestly, with this, they might even pressure the middle from the start. I mean, pressure.
Yeah,
pressure.
I mean, I'm liking the lineup here from Kazna, to be honest. It has the armor and HP of the heavy tanks. It has the dirt potential of the Type 4. Then it has the rotation from the batchats. Now, eSuba's lineup is kind of a mixture of the TVP that can be hugely effective. Artillery can be massively effective in this battle as well. Certainly, it can get in the engine decks of any of those mouses. We saw it yesterday with Papa Pavin getting set on fire by Mertorius in the artillery. So, yeah, I mean, who'd you give it to, Mojo?
If Kazna plays passive this, I would give it to eSuba. If they actually try to play proactive from the start, I will give it to Kazna.
Okay, well, here we go, folks. This match is going to be decided on this map. Will it be eSuba or Kazna crew? Let's find out. Let's jump into mines.
Mines, a small summertime map with lots of hills, rocks and other cover. The teams start the battle in the usual locations, but the base locations are different. One is located in the bottom part of the village and the other one is in the water. One of the key objectives is the center hill. That's why the teams will often select fast vehicles and tanks with strong turrets for cover.
And here we go right into the action. Looks like eSuba are rushing for the hill. They're red side attacking and Kazna crew is the blue side defending. And, well, Kazna crew are spreading out, Mojo. They're not actually going to test the hill here. Can Dares do the climb? Gets up quite nicely, but he is going to get spotted by Fraulein Andrew.
This is really important that he goes up, but will he actually survive it? And he's spotted, and he will know it in a matter of seconds here. Will Dares be the tragic man for Kazna in this match?
He's tracked, he repairs it straight away. He's, whoa, 2 shots, 1 more. Oh, that one was so lucky. So lucky. I think his ammo rack took that shot without
Never forget that they still have the Arty, and Arty can still do a number on Dares there.
UKS got hit for 428 there. That almost looked like it was team damage there. Who else had angle on him?
Stefan, he climbed from the backside.
Oh, Stefan's gone up the back climb. Very nicely done. Very nicely done.
Yeah, considering it's not really the easy climb in the game, it was really fast, nice, and he did damage. But he kind of overstayed his welcome there.
Cheeky little shot from UKS to get one back into him. He's like, oi mate, you shot at me, I'm going to shoot you back. Now look at this. Call Me Piotr has a line on Tomasek, who's just trying to get himself up into the hill. We got 2 into his back.
This is super
Artillery
important.
Spotted. This is going to actually, oh, he's behind the rock now. Call Me Piotr with that nice spot. Combat, you are in a world of trouble right now, mate. You're in a world of trouble.
But he did survive. Yes, he's on 1 shot, but there is no one actually left to shoot him there. So that's really important. Kazna is now getting toward the middle with their heavy tanks, slowly but surely.
Overus and his mouse is taking damage there as well on eSuba. HP pool advantage to Kazna crew. They do have more heavy tanks as Haiba takes a little bit of damage in his mouse as well. Now what can Artillery do now? He's looking for a shot. He has one there onto Diplomat. It's going to arc it over right into his face. Oof. 910!
Massive!
That is a hell of a shot right now.
Massive damage there on that mouse. I mean, let's remind ourselves that is a tier 8 artillery piece, not a tier 10. Kazna needs to choose now how will they play it. If they want to stay somewhere here, they actually have to pressure. If they don't want to, they need to move away so Arty cannot really do a number on them.
Nexus took then another follow-up shot to the face. As you can see, the tracers here from eSuba going into those two tanks of Kazna crew. Now they're trying to get a focus onto the tank on the corner. It's Haiba, actually. He's taking a lot of damage. He's down to half health now, Mojo. Another shot into him as well. Now, the important thing to remember here is Ders is up on that hill, but he has ammo rack. Now, they're focusing Haiba at the Mojo. He's in a terrible place. Haiba is in a terrible place to be right now for eSuba.
This is really, Kazna. I think Kazna actually already blew their chances here, but Andrew here is taking so much damage, being pinged down by 2 buttshots from Kazna. Piotr is actually playing his wits out there. He's really doing the maximum he can do for his team. Tomaszek is on 1 shot now, almost for mouse tanks, and this is not a done game.
This is a brawl here. Kazna crew are pushing the tanks up onto the hill. They're going to try and bully eSuba out of the way. Now, UKS is going to have to come around to look in to help out because Stefan's going all the way around to shoot into his back. Commie Pure actually gets the kill on Tomasek. UKS gets the kill on Stefan. Now, eSuba and Kazna crew are trading blow for blow at the moment. Kazna crew have the HP advantage. What can Artillery do? As Vetso gets the kill on Overus, and Kazna crew are just going to push all the way around here onto the tanks. As Combat gets the kill on Diplomat. This is going to give a little bit of a cam now, a little bit of a breathing space, but Kazna still have that HP advantage.
This is breaking only around Piotr and Ders. What will Piotr and Ders be able to do? Can UKETS pick up Piotr here now? And can they pick up Ders? If that happens, it doesn't matter how many mouse tanks actually Kazna has, because they can be played around with these butchers.
Commie Piotr is doing rope-a-dope here with UKETS. He gets the kill onto his teammates. UKETS is not fast enough now, and Commie Piotr is going to be able to survive this. Actually, no, he actually does. He has the speed. They're just going to go round and round in circles here. Commie Piotr can only be saved or actually be shot at now by Artillery if he can do this. Vetso taking damage there, and Kazna crew. Now, actually, UKETS has the shot. One more, and he goes. No, Piotr is safe.
And just corpse actually saved Piotr here. I mean, UKETS really did a nice dodge here, but this will not really help them now because Kazna is pressuring with what they have.
Commie Piotr is just wasting time at the moment. UKETS is going to get another kill. He does now. Kazna crew have got 3 tanks remaining. eSuba have 4, 1 more including their artillery. Lukin and Nexus are still brawling here, but Nexus is within artillery range. Artillery can get shot into him. Frawley can come round and do damage as well, so long as Nexus doesn't look at him. Nexus is trying to angle here against Frawley, but there's also UKETS shooting at Nexus as well. And Mojo, I think this is going to be Suba taking
Why
this one.
is there still on a hill, man? I don't understand it. He's
Artillery
still
into
on a
Nexus.
mountain.
Oh, Artillery comes in. Nexus is now on a 1-shot, 117. He has broken tracks. It's a damaged gun. Ders, where's Ders at the moment? He's still got that ammo rack.
He just got down from the mountain here, and he is trying to go to maybe flank Lukin and Frawley there, who are on 1-shot. So that might work for Kazna, but it's really slim chances because UKETS, a hero of a day for Utopia, has all the health in the game.
Ders getting the kill on Frawley. Lukin is trying to block here against Haiba and of Nexus. But look at this, Lukin gets the kill on Haiba. UKETS comes round, takes the damage. He's on a 1-shot, Lukin's on a 1-shot. Combat is able to get a 1-shot. Combat's a 1-shot itself in Artillery. Can Combat get the kill here on Ders? Ders has 1 shot, 1 opportunity.
Let's see how will this end up. Will
Ders
Ders manage to survive? But this is a really good aim and it should be a straight shot. No, he does it! He does it!
Combat gets the kill. Kazna crew do not win this one. It's eSuba who take the points, and Kazna crew still have 1 more game to get into 1st or 2nd place here.
Wow, man, he even took his hat off. It was an ammo rack.
Ders, how many times does Ders die in close matches like this to an artillery shot?
I don't know, but I don't know why did he stay on a mountain so far. Was it a team order or something? I really don't get it. They needed an extra gun to shoot eSuba tanks in the back, especially in a moment when UKETS was pressuring on Piotr on the island. Piotr did really well. He bought so much time for Kazna. He pressured, he spotted, he shot them. He even managed to kill Andrew when he was chased by UKETS in that moment. Like, that was heroic. But just